Is everybody in? Is everybody in? Is everybody in? Skilbo, welcome back, brother. Cheers.
Cheers,
Tonight.
Fred. Cheers, chat.
I believe everybody's in. Cheers, chat.
Show them the sign, Red. Show them the live
Change up
chat.
view here because we're gonna get it to gallery. That way you can see us both while we're chatting tonight.
Professional.
Not just one of us while we're speaking. Skilbo, welcome back, man. I apologize to everybody. I was not here, or at least thank you all for tuning in, coming back after my absence. At least we had I was gone. I was in the great north woods of the lower peninsula of Michigan, doing some northern whitetail hunting with the family. Do that once a year, and it came up as a surprise. I noticed in our chat, some didn't believe that I was hunting or doing that. It's a family tradition, go up and do that with the family, with the dad, and I have some brothers. And
cheers, Daddy Red.
We'll get into that.
He should be showing up
whenever he should be showing up soon. Cheers, Daddy Red.
Cheers, Becca.
Cheers, everybody in chat. While everybody's tuning in, we got Raptor kicking
JMB, K
Good Farm, Becca.
Crispy.
Cheers, Becca. Crispy Panda, JMB. Yeah, man, it's a good time. And Jonathan, I see everybody starting to pop in here. Yeah, cheers, everybody. Hit the
when I see
live chat as well.
JMB, I always think of Jerry Garcia band.
71 DP0. Cheers, brother. What's going on from the Chicago scene? We have Jonathan Henderson. And yeah. We get rolling here. Billy Strings, man. Got a new t-shirt here. Spartan grown. I didn't get a chance to run into Spartan, man. We went up. I stood in line for like ever to get a wow.
DOG.
He's really
he
kind of just wants us to go to bed. I think I have this thing going on with my hair. I kind of feel like Woody Harrelson for some reason, so I'm just gonna kind of move that back there. Just, I guess self-conscious conflict I have going on, I suppose. Yeah, man, I should just mess it all up and just go wild with it anyways. Not really care about it. So Billy Strings last night, didn't get a chance to run to Spartan. Stood in line. Skilbo, we talk about the merch all the time, dude. Got a poster, the t-shirts.
Is that the same poster right there? Too. So what your shirt is the poster as well?
No, the poster's got a van on it. I'll try to bust it out here in a little bit. And we'll segue into that. Did run into Kazu. Yeah. Ran into Kazu. Yeah, Kazu Kush. Ran into him out there. Pretty cool gathering, man. He had some buddies, got a chance to meet, and dude, it's Fillmore, right? So smoking section, you get in weird times, got to wait back in line. So we didn't go burn one or anything. It wasn't that type of event like it.
No, it's
like
not that venue.
Dude, and I'll tell you what, man. We didn't get into it too much on the show, but maybe we'll tomorrow on the late session or something. But it's a new world of theater, show entertainment. You remember in the crowd, you see little embers burning, little puffs of smoke and whatnot. You see little blue lights, little blue and green lights buzzing, and little blasts of fucking giant volcano blasts of vape. It's everybody's doing the vape thing now because it's so I drop my vape right in the tray. I just put my vape right in the tray and they let me in with it. They don't know. Yeah. They have a smoking section. I mean, I would try to get into the Masonic with a vape one time, and I had a cartridge in a tube, and it said what it was on the tube, and the dude's like, "Yeah, you can't come in with this." I was like, "Well, I'm not taking it back to my car. Just toss it to keep it or whatever."
Party time.
So they kept it. So they so depending on what it is, but I mean, no label on it if it's already on a battery, unless they're not allowing you to have some type of nicotine juice.
When in doubt, RSO it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was Spartan's gig. He was there, said he was dosing RSO and all that fun stuff. And so, it's the new wave of concerts, man. It's really strange. I suppose, edibles, as always, pack your brownies or however you're going to get in with that kind of stuff. But yeah, not really seeing it was kind of weird. It was like, should we even light a joint? Like, man, lighting a joint.
If there's balloons going around and shit, I think that's the least of your worries.
Holy fuck. Walked out of the Fillmore and the tanks had their own parking spot. It was wild. Right out front. There's a parking spot right on Woodward, dude. Usually
right on Woodward, man.
Usually there's a police presence, but this time the police presence wasn't really there.
So. For anybody who doesn't know where the Fillmore is, it is dead downtown Detroit.
Yeah. We're talking Fox Theater and Fillmore, right? Basically right next to each other.
And to put it another way, on the M roads for Michigan, Woodward is M1. So that should tell you that that's an old motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the M roads, Skilbo, I guess we can sort of slightly wander.
Segue into some geography for a minute.
Into the topic, yeah. Speaking of M roads, you get up north of the M10 area ish, okay,
which is where
Saginaw, Bay City, Saginaw area. Okay. You're going to enter the rifle zone of Michigan. Basically, below that, you can't hunt with a rifle. You can only hunt with shotguns. You go north of the rifle zone, if you will, the wall. This is our wall, Skilbo. This is the wall that we all talk about. So basically, M10 is our wall.
The difference between muskets and blunderbusses.
And so you can hunt with shotguns. I'm not 100% on the muzzle loading factor down here. There might be grain limits or maybe weight limits or something. I'm sure Daddy Red would know more about that. But you get north of the wall, you can hunt with basically unlimited firepower up there. Cannabis episode in Michigan, the two don't combine. You can't same with alcohol and stuff like that. You can't carry them both, consume the two. Obviously you're not consuming, but you don't want to consume and have firepower or anything like that. So it's not really the discussion that we're gonna have. But we are gonna talk a little bit about just forestry, just being in the woods, especially this time of year, man. When you're hunting for Sasquach, not shooting at Sasquach or anything like that, but you just wanted to like kick it with him and burn one.
Did you get to burn a rainbow driver with him?
No, man. Well, here's the thing. So I did get a chance to listen to Lay Sesh, and you guys were talking about it in this theoretical thing as if I haven't already seen the Sasquach. I've already seen him, and we've already gotten a chance to kick it and burn one.
We've ever communed before, right?
Yeah, we've already
in the moonlight. Yeah, man, I got you.
And so like he and I were. I'm just trying to go back and find him again. I'm just trying to kick it with him. Not be as shaky and scared of him this time. Maybe I can catch a photograph.
Does he have one?
A selfie with him.
Does he match? Like when you guys burn one, does he match and give you like the super skunky fucking funky monkey?
I think I got but yeah, absolutely. The Harry and the Hendersons, like
dude, yes.
Yeah, that's it right there, except it's puffing on a big old stogie. I mean, it's man. Bigfoot, dude. You don't come to Bigfoot prepared with this little cone. You got to come with the fucking cannon, dude.
El Canon, man.
Canon, the giant. So you got hand rolled, nice tobacco blunt, something like that. Bigfoot's man of fine,
dignified taste.
Fine taste. So I'll tell everybody the original story, and this leads me into the story. What this Bigfoot likely is. So I'm sitting in the woods many years ago. This is probably 6 or 7 years ago, maybe even longer than that at this time. I had been hiking in one direction and saw a hunter up in a tree, decided to go a different direction. And I was a cigarette smoker at the time. So I had already gone, let's just call it north. And then I backtracked and went south. And then I sat down for a little bit and I lit up a cigarette, and I'm smoking a cigarette in the woods. This is the reason I don't ever hunt anything or actually, harvest protein. Smoked a cigarette in the woods. And by the way, for those that don't know, cannabis saved my life. Microdosing and cannabis saved me from that habit, I suppose, that addiction that I had was very difficult with. That's a different episode, of course. The sitting in the woods smoking a cigarette. No, and that's when I saw Bigfoot stomping through. Dude, I mean, why do you say it's Bigfoot? Well, it's hunting season. Everybody in the woods has orange on. It's the only thing I could think of. No.
Is there a blaze orange?
I didn't see firepower on him. He was within a house distance away. He's like 20 yards away.
He was draped in a towel.
He was either
you've caught me unawares,
or unarmed man in a ghillie suit, something like that. Okay, in all reality, the reality of the situation is it was most likely a pissed off hunter in a ghillie suit who's pissed off because not only did I trample in front of his hidden spot once, but I trampled back in front of his hidden spot twice, and then I probably sat right in front of him smoking a cigarette. I had no fucking idea that he was there, probably because he was sitting in a ghillie suit in the middle of the fucking woods. Here's a huge reason that
I wouldn't come crashing through the undergrowth in a ghillie suit if it was like hunting season. That's a good way
opening
to get
day
smoked,
on hunting
man.
season.
Yeah,
opening day on hunting season. So we're going to talk about a little bit of forestry safety. One of them is, will an inexperienced hunter shoot at anything that moves? Possibly.
I don't want to test the theory.
Don't want to test the theory. It's possible. You want to have some sort of a orange, man, bright color. It's hunter's orange is used as for a reason. I don't know if this is law. I don't want to say this for fact. It might be different in your state, but here in Michigan, you're supposed to be in the woods with hunter's orange on. I'd have to really look at the DNR handbook and figure out the actual legalities on this, but I'm pretty sure that it's in there that you're supposed to have it on. Again, it may not. It may just be a guideline to adhere to. Well, it's it's the same deal. We're all about personal health and safety, right? This is a show on freedoms and thoughts and freedoms and stuff like that. But this is just a way to protect yourself. And to be completely honest, I don't want to accidentally shoot somebody in the woods. This has to do with me also. I don't want to accidentally shoot, and not because I'm going to shoot at anything. Okay, that's not my fear. As an experienced hunter, I'm not afraid of, or I'm not concerned about what I'm shooting at. I'm going to be very aware of what I'm shooting at before I take any kind of a shot. What I want to be concerned about is what's beyond my target.
Yes, I was just going to say, it's not what's in between, target. It's what follows. Sure.
If I can't see you back there behind my target,
especially
I don't know you're there
with an actual rifle. We're not talking about a shotgun anymore.
If I know that there's a building, if I know that there's a road, if I know that there's a property, if I know that there's anything, if I know that my family is in the general area, I don't even aim my rifle in that general area. You know what I mean? If I have no fucking idea that you're hunting over there, if I see orange in the woods, I know there's a hunter there. And there's a great chance that not only am I not going to even aim in that direction, but I'm going to start going away from that direction altogether. I'm going to get the fuck out of there. I don't want to be shot, for one. It's a scary situation to be in that type of proximity. You don't know their experience level in the woods or, handling a firearm or anything like that. So you're going to move away from them just naturally. So always have some sort of a visual image on, and this isn't just for game hunters, okay? Because this is a time of season anywhere in the population. We, now with all of these laws lightening up, Oregon is completely legal. Psilocybin hunters up there. We have psilocybin hunters here in Michigan. Yes, we have lots of wild fungi here in Michigan. If you happen to be in the woods in November hunting for psilocybin, this is deer season. Just a heads up, because we have a lot of people who may not know. And that's what this episode's specifically tailored for. The reason that my absence from last week was because I was in the woods.
Squatching.
If you're in the national forest or driving around rural areas or anything like that, it's good advice from Daddy Red. Keep an orange hat in your car. Even if you break down, it's a good thing to put on your head. Getting out of your car, changing a tire. There could be somebody in that forest, man, hunting. Yeah. Yep, you could, and they might be listening for traffic, and they might take a shot at something, but they might see your orange hat sitting on the side of the road, and they might know that there's somebody broken down. not take a shot at the road. And otherwise, maybe they would because they don't hear a car, something like that. So, keeping orange with you, hunter's orange, something like that, a vest. I deck out in orange. I'm covered, not head to toe. I don't do it on
Do you
my
have
pants.
The orange, or do you have orange camouflage?
Orange camouflage. Orange camouflage jacket, orange hat, orange on my backpack. My backpack's white. And you're looking for white tails, to be honest. You're looking for white fur. So white is not even a safe color to carry. So I carry orange on my backpack. You know what I mean? I carry a hat on my backpack or a bandana or something.
I think the only thing I've ever seen that's blaze orange and moves is like a wacky inflatable arm man.
Yeah, there's not many,
like a
not many
blaze orange
things
one
in
of
the
those.
woods that are like
Right.
that. I did wave. I was at a campground.
To a bird?
Yeah, it was similar. No, it was more of an inanimate object. I waved at a water station. The water station was wrapped up for the season, had a pink tie on it. So I'm getting closer to it and closer to it and closer to it. And finally, I gave it a wave. It was a pink one. It was just a band. It wasn't, but that's, they stand out. Pink highlight, or bands, orange, any of that stuff. The shit stands out in the forest, in the woods. So if you're, broke down side of the road, if you're foraging, advice is not to forage during rifle season. Acknowledge rifle season is in season.
If you're parked somewhere and you start seeing a bunch of pickup trucks and stuff, that might be a hunting
it's
spot.
about that time. And there's also bow season, which exists in October. I don't know if this is a nationwide thing, but here in Michigan, this is October and following rifle season. Rifle season is only for a couple of weeks here in November. It basically ends in the beginning of December. But then you can continue on to bow hunt. And hunters aren't really advised to wear orange in the woods for archery. It should maybe. I'm a little concerned about that one myself because the crossbows have been allowed as of recently. So there is that potential. Like that's a little heavier, or it's a little more of a direct aiming and precision. I don't know if they have any more firepower behind a crossbow than there is behind a regular standalone like pullback bow. Probably not. I'm sure it's the same tension force, string, and all that shit. I have no idea. Maybe there's more firepower behind a crossbow, and if that's the case, maybe hunter orange should be considered. I know if I was in the woods anytime between October and probably the end of December, I probably have at least an orange hat on, right? So if you're doing any kind of foraging,
a scarf
for food, throw
a sassy scarf,
a nice scarf that flaps in the wind. That'll make sure that that's something that your Sasquatch. Now, when you do run into Sasquatch, do you
trade gifts with him and you give him the blaze orange scarf?
Sasquatch the blaze
orange. You the dank.
Certainly is most likely growing the dank. He wouldn't admit to where his spots were, but I'll tell you what, he most certainly blew my mind.
Yeah, man.
That was some of the best smoke I ever had. Sasquatch had already been confirmed. I was merely just trying to reestablish my relationship with him. It's been such a while,
Sam,
man.
I came through with that good again, man.
But in all likeliness, it was probably somebody thinking, because there's a lot of hunter activity in actually that area.
Which national forest do you go to?
This is the Huron National Forest. There's also a lot of Bigfoot activity in the Huron National Forest. I have since then done a lot of my research on that type of sightings and the cryptozoology and that whole thing. Michigan's a hot spot. It does seem to be one of the hot spots, whether it's population or whatever it is. It's a popular item up north. I think a lot. There's a lot of call them conspiracy theorists or whoever, whack jobs or whatever you want to call them, wackadoos that people don't believe. But hey, I still don't know what's in all the forests. I mean, they've been farmed out. We've knocked our forest down to damn near nothing, a few hundred acres at best. It would probably be unlikely that there's one in the lower peninsula, but still, I don't know, man. Blue Kiss. I think it was Blue Kiss Gardens. I think I saw her in chat of the late sesh the other day. Said that the Bigfoot could see the hunter's orange, and that's why they're so elusive. Possible. It's a good way. Maybe they're they have just as keen of color. Why wouldn't they?
Maybe if we think about this for a minute, since this is behind the veil,
like us.
You also have to realize he doesn't just grow the dank out there. He also can forage all of the best mushrooms.
Yeah.
So his visual acuity is
colors.
like really good. You know, in the news this week, I've seen that, you know, I mean, we've all talked about, if you're watching this show, that more and more people in the news are recommending using psilocybin as a microdose to treat long-term depression. So there's a lot of really cool articles out there.
Shout out to Detroit.
Shout out to Detroit. Yes. And Washtenaw. Yeah.
So we may have a lot of people sourcing books and sourcing ways to figure out how to go and forage. And if you're tuning into this episode, this is exactly, you know, your type of thing. No, we're not going to teach you how to identify because that's not my specialty.
Did you see that Amanita shit I shared?
I looked into it a little bit. Yeah. I thought that was very
really interesting, man, for like inflammation and stuff like that.
You know what's funny, man, is, and it might be where I'm at in the forest because I'm typically hunting old
growth.
No, I shouldn't have used the word old. Farmed pine. Pine farms. The Huron National Forest is federal property. It's owned by the federal parks and nature service. And that allows them to lease out some of the land to logging companies and things like that. So it's been farmed over the last, I don't know, 150, 200 years.
I would love to know what percentage of like Michigan was forested prior to, say, 1700.
Over 90. Prior to 1700?
Prior to 1700.
Prior to 1700. Yeah, not a lot. We had a lot of old growth forests. From my research, we've had sequoia, redwood.
Oh, dude, I'm so fucking heartbroken. Speaking about sequoias,
we have redwood in our state.
Did you know
peninsula we have redwood?
In the last 2 years, that 20% of the redwood species have been decimated by the California wildfires. It's absolutely fucking heartbreaking to me, dude. Yeah. I want to get out there so bad. Like if I take a vacation somewhere, I would love to go see those before they are not to be as easily seen.
Well, there's a lot of catch-22 on that, you know, the whole wildfire thing. That's a heavy topic, man, because there's a lot of like, isn't it something like because we're interfering, because we're like keep them too clean, something to do with like, all right, so there's a conspiracy, and I don't even know if it's conspiracy. It's probably true. It has to do with logging companies creating the Smokey the Bear campaign to prevent wildfires. And I'm not talking about the bad blazes that occur out west that like really take out, you know.
Native Americans used to do planned burnings though.
Exactly.
Try to open corridors up and things like that.
Stuff like that. Yeah. There's species of pine that require it to like open up. They require burn to repopulate, reproduce. So we know that like burning is a natural product of the forest, but they're able to extinguish themselves.
Well, those corridors are also good though, because like for birds and shit like that, like birds or anything that's trying to cross through, you want to try to create corridors for them to have passage rather than just a bunch of fucking bramble.
Right. And yeah, so something to do with like the old Smokey the Bear campaign was a way to save the loggers' trees, right?
Shredder has been reminding us all show.
Oh yeah, there we go. And
only you, Shredder,
only you. And in reality is, I guess, that you let that undergrowth burn up, and it clears it up, and it helps create beneficial microclimates, you know, for other little species to exist, fungi and new plants, and allow saplings to emerge and stuff like that.
I've seen amanitas on my property over the summer.
I haven't seen them in the forest, dude. And so that's what I was going to get to, is maybe it's because I'm in the pines. Maybe it has to do with the acidity.
Too acidic, possibly.
Yeah. The northern part of the state is also all sand. We're on just a fucking sand dune. The entire northern half of the state, dude. Just a big fucking sand dune, man. When you walk out there, there's no clay. You dig up the moss and stuff, and it's sand beneath. So you're growing in all straight sand.
Well, that's hard too for a forest when you don't have an adequate amount. We have a 125 foot oak tree that came down during a storm this year, and it didn't snap in half. What happened is that the wind blew so hard, and it was the tallest tree in the woods, that it literally ripped it out of the ground because there's only 4 inches of topsoil, and underneath that is all sand.
Yeah. And
So
would
once
you
you get to
say
that
that
point,
that had to do with maybe the deforestation around it because it was
no, it was in the middle, and it was taller than everything else. So when this 60-mile-an-hour winds came through and thunderstorms and shit, it just fucking decimated it. And so when that mighty one fell down, it took 3 other trees with it.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh shit, man.
Yeah, man. You never sit under a widowmaker. I call those widowmakers. These branches that hang off of them. You got a big dead branch.
Yeah.
Always look above you whenever you're gonna sit down for a little bit. Always sit underneath something alive and living and fresh and healthy, especially on a windy day. You hear those trees. The forest talks. It speaks. Speaks
those
loudly.
Trees get to moving, man. Yeah.
The creek. The trees creak. Speak. You know, the birds. Here's what's fun. I never see squirrels or anything like that. I saw a lot of dens. Noticeably, a lot of dens this year. And you know how you catch those glitches in the Matrix. I'm talking to Daddy Red. And I'm like, listen, I've been noticing a lot of dens. You know, it's crazy. I never noticed dens, and I mean fresh ones. Like there's a pile of fresh sand, right? Like they're freshly getting ready.
So what is it?
Right. I have no idea. There's probably little bits of there. Probably porcupine, maybe some fox, maybe some coyote. One of the dens, the hole was I can't even fit on camera.
Could you have crawled into it?
I could have probably crawled into it. It was pretty fucking.
You wouldn't want to, but
I got the fuck out of that area because I could have stumbled upon maybe a bear den or something like that. I remember running
someone's hermitage.
Seen a den in the same area a few years ago, so it could be like something that's been there for a while.
Cougar.
They're in those woods, man. Yeah, I mean, I've heard cat species. Whether or not we've farmed the entire state, like we've done a good job of keeping a lot of the natural species around.
They used to have bobcats around here.
Sasquach could be in there. He's in there poking around. Sammy's up there poking around. Yeah.
So we've done the concert and we've talked about
Sammy. But yeah, man, there's it's important to be in the woods. Not just be in the woods, but be in the woods with fucking orange on this time of year, or not go trampling around in the woods.
How is it mentally to be unplugged for a week for you? Is it recharging?
I have to go in the woods once a week, man, or once a year. Once a week would be great. Once a year. We didn't get a chance to go last year, not just because of the normal quarantine shutdowns and stuff. Obviously it'd be easy to go get away if everything shut down. But we actually all were sick with COVID. The entire family, all my brothers pretty much had it during this time. Daddy Red was the first one to get it, and then my other brother, my oldest brother, got it. I got it, and then my other brother, who wasn't even in contact with any of us, got it all the same time, coincidentally. So none of us could make it up north.
The brothers Red.
Do anything? Yeah,
that's what we'll refer to all three of you as. There's Daddy Red and the brothers Red.
Yeah. So I have two older brothers. Here, you gotta hear a little story. Why not? They are an entire generation older than me. Half brothers. Daddy Red. My brothers have a different mama Red than
different mama
they
Red.
do. Yeah, than I do. They're about 14 and 16 years older than me. So my oldest brothers.
Cheers for Growley.
In his 50s. They're both in their 50s. Cheers for Growley. Welcome in. And also Noob and Abolished. I see you out there. Ziggy's Wet Blanket. Haven't checking in chat here for a minute, Skilbo.
We've just been talking about Sasquach.
Ranting about Sasquatching.
So did you or did you not get a deer this year?
Oh, I did not. Daddy Red did. Daddy Red got himself a little doe. It was a good experience. My nephew actually harvested it. which is I still haven't done that myself. I have not hunted, killed, harvested my own protein, if you will. I'm not against, for a long time for me, it was just getting out there and the experience, getting in the woods. Didn't mind it because I have a little bit of firepower and I felt protected and all of that, even being by myself. And it was kind of thrilling, for a really long time.
You're the Maltese Falcon. You're never afraid.
Oh, dude, we go to the middle of fucking nowhere. When I mean the middle of nowhere, there's no human presence. Like to run up against another hunter is like weird sometimes where we go.
Where you go is I had a great uncle that had a cabin right up by where you go.
Dude, so, it's super
fucking nothing, man.
Nothing, dude. A lot of you probably know where I'm talking about if you're familiar with the like Hale, Glenny area. It's in between those areas. And it's like basically where the Huron National Forest opens up. And there's just logging trails and they just go on forever, and you can just go back in there and any of those and park and go hike, and you better have a compass.
Think of what that would have been like to hunt in like the 1950s, man, like 70 fucking years ago.
Couldn't imagine. Well, what's funny is I remember as a kid, we'll say 30 years ago, okay, when I was a kid tramping around back to when I can probably remember. They had chopped down an entire section, and it was probably knee high with little saplings and little shit. You could literally see for like a mile across this thing, maybe a half mile, all the way from like fire trail to fire trail. And it was called, call it a clear cut. They clear cut all the pines out, so it was all fresh growth. Now today, these trees are fucking 40 feet tall, dude. 10 years ago, you couldn't even walk through there because it was so thick. Now you can like almost walk underneath and inside. I see all that red setter you got on there, Skilbo. You smoking some hash?
Oh yeah, man. Which
sweet.
Let's see, which one do I have up here still? I got this like is plate. The strawberries and cream. Got
nice.
This one.
Oh yeah, that's the sleeper right there.
Oh,
dude, that stuff knocks me out.
Red, how old is this now?
Which one's that one? Oh, that's plastic? Probably Apollo 13, man. Yeah,
it is Apollo.
2018.
Good call.
Yeah. I'm sure I give that one the blue label.
I refilled one of yours with some of my own. This is some of my own Gorilla Glue
nice.
I have.
Oh, nice, dude. Skilbo, I love the color on that, dude.
Yeah,
super blonde. I hope everybody gets a chance to check that out, guys. If the video is not allowing you to see what Skilbo has,
and the other one is the candied grapes. I still got a little bit of candied grapes left. Can't have hash time if you don't have hash, bro. Holy shit! Speaking of fucking hash, I did that Leica stuff from Old Man. He helped me out. So at the end, when I did my trim tray after I processed all this, oh my god, Red, it was fucking amazing to just scrape all of them. Let me see.
Wow.
Here you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, that looks nice. I bet you got a nice piney fragrance coming off that jar. All kinds of terps, huh?
Yeah. And that's just off of trimming the A's and B's. And I still have all the C material still. So I'm waiting for when it gets cold, because I've got those really kick-ass silk screens. Those ones I was showing off before? The metal ones. They're 22 by 24. I'll be able to set those up and work some more of that process.
Yep. I guess
I still need to come out and do some tutelage under the master.
Remind viewers, and I'm sure you already know this, but maybe I'll let you know in case not. Thread count or screen count is it's a higher number for a smaller count, right? When you're talking about screens and
the more lines that you have,
lines per inch, and that's versus micron. Micron is a smaller number. It gives you a smaller filter, but lines per inch is a larger number, gives you a smaller filter. So they're kind of backwards. So if you're using lines per inch,
I want to watch them dance on
on silk screen.
What's that one dude's name? Is it I hope I don't say this wrong. Is it Canuck Grown that has is he the one that processes that way with those screens? Somebody in chat, I know somebody knows.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Is that who it is? Yeah.
Dan uses screen. Dan
does too. Yep.
Dinkman Dan. Shout out Dinkman Dan.
Eventually, Reg, you're going to be so set up. You're going to have, I mean, you're just going to be able to do farm to finish.
Yeah, I need to get a set of those screens. I'm using that little trim tray. It takes a little bit of time. There's a lot of T's. Trim trays with time.
What you do is you go halfsies with somebody. Me and Doc Dankenstein, shout out to him. Oh, Mr. Canuck. Thank you, K Good. There we go. I couldn't remember his name.
Mr. Canuck.
So Doc Dankenstein and I split on these screens. They came in a 2-pack. So he bought one and it was like, I think it was like $40. So I bought the different size. And then when they came in, we just swapped each other's screens. So then we both had a set. I've never fucked with Static Tech. I know that's a Jack Greenstock thing. What's that, Red?
T almost took me out. I've actually never gotten into Static Tech either. I'm sure that it would make a more refined,
clean it up,
product.
Bubble Man,
Yeah, not something that I've actually done.
Another name is his name's John Zipperfalo. The other Canadian guy, he's had a channel for years.
I had a nap. I took a nap. A couple hours before the show. It's Sunday. We've been relaxing. We got some work done. Took a nice relaxing nap, and then woke up to some random. That might have been one of those shows. One of those. It was either like the Great Gardener, like somehow randomly like Great Gardener, like Bubble Man will just be playing. It's just in my algorithm to just play some old hash videos. They'll be like 10-year-old hash videos or something like that. That somehow made it through the first leg of like the YouTube. Maybe they re-uploaded their videos or something. Maybe they did get them shut out. I think that Bubble Man did lose like his entire collection and had to re-upload it. But I don't know about the Great Gardener.
Dank Duchess.
Dank Duchess, dude.
Yeah, she has a good channel.
Her hashishin skills, man. Yep. She is most certainly one of the finest, at least in the
washing world.
Yeah, internet scene, I suppose, if you want to call it that. The virtual cannabis scene, the national, virtual, worldwide cannabis scene.
I really enjoyed the Temple Ball when she did that. She was using like the hot water in the bottle and getting it all worked out and shit. It's so cool.
We actually I was going through the closet, right? It's time to donate some hats and scarves and shit like that, and going through some old stuff, man, and cleaning out all of the old winter clothes and things like that. And I came across a whole bunch of jars of just old trim and some buds, some testers and things like that. That wasn't too it wasn't too flavorful for me. I didn't enjoy too much, but I kept them around maybe for somebody else, so they're still just kind of sitting there. And then kind of was like, oh man, get all this shit out of here. So I kind of was just purging, and I came across some old wine bottles, dude. Same tech, right? That's what that was for. So I actually like went and kept that specific wine bottle, hoarded that wine bottle.
Red, you need a Grey Goose, that big bottle? Like when you work at a bar, they have the gigantic fucking Grey Goose bottle. It's perfect for that, man.
Yeah, and
it stays warm longer.
And you want something flat. That's the purpose. It's a very specific reason for that specific wine bottle, is because it has a flat edge, and it also doesn't have a cork. In my purpose, I like that it has a screw on top for this specific reason. It was a cheap wine bottle, and I don't really drink, so I'm not just gonna go out and buy a bottle of wine.
Cook with it, man.
Yeah, I could cook with it. That is a good point, but it's gonna be like a whole
really kick-ass London broil, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it once though, and so that's a pretty expensive ingredient. So it's got to be the right dinner. I would do it for a holiday or something.
I mean, I think we could probably get a bottle of Night Train and we could use that, or Wild Irish Rose.
I had a glass of wine the other night. Last night, I probably had. Well, dude, I've been on vacation. I had beers with my brothers and my dad.
Coors Light.
Yep, I had a couple Coors Light.
I knew.
I used to only drink Coors Light back in the day. And
Coors, the banquet beer.
I actually was drinking like Bud Light and probably what was it? Bush. I think we were drinking Bush. You know, the Hunter's can orange
Yeah,
Bush
man.
and the Bud Light, and then I
It's
had a
either
Coors Light.
Hunters
And
or
I'm like,
NASCAR.
man, I don't know why I used to drink Coors Light. Like it almost has no flavor compared to the Bush. But to be honest, I ended up not liking any of that stuff after I was drinking like bougie IPAs and all that kind of shit before I really stopped drinking beer. What are you drinking? Heffenweiser. Nice, dude. Oh, I like that one. I don't think I've had that brand, but I like a Heffenweizen. That's nice.
It's a wheat beer.
Yeah, it's a nice light beer. Not too heavy of a wheat. I'm not into drinking much anymore, man. You know, and then I had a glass of wine last night. Becca and I went out to the Billy Strings. We went downtown. We went out. You know, we went to Pegasus and had some Greek dinner.
Ah, dude, at least
kept it original. You know, it's like you go somewhere new. You know, there's so many. You know, just go to Pegasus, man.
They're open.
Classic, dude. They're open. Support that place, man. I fucking love that place. I'm glad that place is around. The place has been there for fucking decades, generations, man. They're right in the Greektown tunnel. They've been there before since well before the casino or any of that shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's one of the last.
I think they're one of the oldest ones down there.
They are. They most certainly are. And I respect that, dude. I worked for a mom and pop like Italian restaurant that had actually eventually closed down. The sister company is still around, but you know, the one that I worked at, and they were there for decades, dude, for like 30, 40 years, you know what I mean? Before they finally ended up having to close. Basically, I think shut down because of COVID, I'm pretty sure, or maybe just before. But yeah, dude, that was fucking like, I'm really glad that place is around. So I love Greek food, you know what I mean? That's the other thing, you know. And so I'm not looking for like a bar. I'm not looking for Americano. I'm not looking for, you know, deep fried or anything like that. I'm looking for some good food, and they got it. And it's in a solid place because you can go and fucking basically park for free if you get it at the right time. Catch the right time of day. We left and they were charging $20 for parking. I was like, damn.
Oof.
Got free parking. Catch the right time of day, man. Get there early. Yeah, man. Hit the Greektown Strip. Walked up to the Fillmore. Caught Billy Strings, you know. Did that. It's been a long time since we got a chance to go out and do anything besides like
you just seen him over the summer,
we're
bro.
Hustling, you know. What's that?
Yeah, but dude, Billy over the summer.
We're hustling, dude. We're you know, selling pendants and shit. You know what I mean? Trying to throw pre-rolls and do all that shit with people. And we got to see him and we got to party. You know, we got to have a great time.
Get to buy some swag. He's just basically, you know, swap some
this
things
this
around.
is a different experience because I actually got to get some merchandise, which is kind of cool. Got the old shirt. Becca got a shirt, and we got a pin. We got a hat pin poster. And super geek. We'll bust it out in the late sesh.
Dude, I wish I would get that Dead and Company pin.
That's a late sesh thing. So I'll do that.
You got one of those.
I got a Dead and Company one. I should have got two, man.
I know.
Holy shit. I should have tossed one to the interweb for somebody who didn't get a chance to buy one at the show. and didn't charge them fucking $70 for it. Paid 15, dude. We got some fuckers are going for what, 70 or something like that. Some crazy astronomical amount already. Which is fine. That's good. There's a market value for it.
I got that fucking heady mushroom Grateful Dead fucking pin, remember?
Yeah. I like that one you got, dude. That one's sweet. I ended up getting that super expensive bear. I think I paid like $60 for that bear with the hat. That was all.
It's a big motherfucker though.
All silver. Yeah. Silver pin. It's a big
pin. There was that lot was so many fucking people selling so many fucking things.
I respect that community, man. Jeez. I love supporting that starving artist community. It's just it's not the same.
And the dude that was making the glazed donut grilled cheese sandwiches and shit, that was fucking dope.
Yeah, man. Dollar grilled cheese. Hey, if I can sit there and watch them make it real fast, I'm not worried that they're not licensed or anything like that.
Watch them make your sandwich like this.
If I'm eating it in a dusty fucking, it's already dusty. Food's already getting dusty. I'm not worried about it. You know, let these dudes make it, cook it up, toss it on a plate for me. Wookfoot and all.
Wookfooting in the moonlight, baby.
Wookfoot and all. Dollar grilled cheese, man. It's a good party. It's good people. There it has the darkness, man. There's a balance, right? There's a huge balance to it. We can talk about that. But you know, yeah, man. Well, like I said, like we had that great time, and then there's like, you know, there's just that balance, and the scene's for everybody, right? But then when you hit, like, you walk out of the film, what we'll call the film, out of the theater, okay, and in festivals they have this too, where you just get hit with like you know, like I was talking about, like the tank pretty much had its own parking spot, right? And all of a sudden the party kind of changes, you know. Maybe it doesn't change, but it apparently
sounding
changes.
funny, and it was
starts
quadraphonic.
Appear different. Yeah, well, it changes it does in a way change the party. You know, if those that understand, or if you partake, I don't care, you know, it's cool, it's whatever. But you know, I have my own reasons for not doing it. Mainly, I'm not a huge fan of that type of buzz, but a lot of people are. The buzz specifically I'm talking about is N2O2, nitrous oxide, something like that. But it's funny, my nephew was talking about some organic chemistry stuff that he's working on. He was I had no idea half the shit that he was talking about, but I knew N2O2 when he said it. He was like talking about what this was. I was like, oh, it's N2O2. That's the one gas. It's just like that stuff. I was like, nitrous oxide. Just it's the only one that I knew out of all this shit.
It's the only one I knew.
Fuck me. Never fucked with it, to be honest, aside from what's the shit you do when you're a kid? Fucking whipped cream cans and fucking whippets, and we do the stupid shit. We use dust off containers and stuff like that. Got into a car accident doing that shit, dude.
Oh shit.
Time for a safety lesson on that shit. Don't fucking dust off and drive.
Is Becca laughing at you too?
Oh yeah.
Or is she coughing?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
A little column A and a little column B.
Combination of both. Yeah, don't dust off and drive, dude. The best alliteration ever.
Don't dust
I wasn't
and drive.
I wasn't the one dust offing and driving.
Pledge.
It was
not dust and drive.
It was the driver. I was the passenger in this car, and
so your head was ringing for multiple reasons.
Yeah, had the telephone pole not have been there, we would have been parked inside of some poor old lady's living room, to be completely honest. The telephone pole shocked us into reverse. Parked us up between two trees. She was taking a whip at a stop sign, and
where he says, "Ready, whip the wah wah wah."
Yeah. For frame of reference, you know, super young dude. I'm like a 14-year-old kid. Driver's like freshly licensed, 16, something like that. You have to be 21 years old to be watching this show, and if you're not, please come back when you are.
Now we tell him after all this other shit. Now, yeah,
well, I mean,
better,
you know,
go on, get
it's in the raid. You got to log in anyway. So, anyways, I take a good rip on this thing, man. I just lit it. It's gonna go out on me like the other one. I kept putting out every 2-3 seconds. So yeah, man, I got into a gnarly car accident. You know, the folks got woken up at 3 a.m. about, you know, me getting into a car accident, which they didn't like.
No.
I knew
it's
I was
good time for Daddy Red to be gone.
We had to, like, you know, stash the bag, you know, all that whole thing. We had to run around looking for it was late, dude. We went to Meyer, you know, it's like we snuck away and went to Meyer at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Just make some fucking stupid ass shit. She needed like fucking cat food or some stuff like that.
Go play with the kickballs or something.
My buddy's he's like a year younger than me. He's got an older sister who's got a car. All right. This is the rest of the frame of reference of the story. So she's freshly licensed, you know, got the car, got the cat. So there's a reason to go to Meyer for the fucking cat food. The reason isn't to fucking go, you know, fucking trample down fucking however long. This is fucking rural. This is out in fucking Coldwater, dude. This is,
Ah,
and this is before Coldwater was like a city that it is today, where it's like built up. This is 20 years ago, Coldwater. So this is like rural Coldwater. There's like nothing going on out there. And uh yeah, so it took a long time for the fucking like cops to come. Her car had to get towed back. It was a big deal, man. Her fucking rode back with her dad and shit
it was
like
kind
that.
of a big deal. Yeah.
We went back the next day and fucking restashed, re-grabbed the fucking, dug around some
It
old
was still there.
pines and shit like that. Yeah, I never found my bowl, dude. I was kind of bummed about that, man. I had an
Somebody
old
found it
bowl.
before you.
I had an old bowl that I like. Yeah, it's maybe. No, she ended up getting her fucking dust off cans back. She went and stashed all that shit, and she went back specifically for that. Never did find my bag of weed, or maybe somebody else did. Yeah, that's the story. Somebody else might have found it. They might have all gone back and found my weed in my bowl, but I never did. But yeah, man, that's a dirty one to party with, to be honest. There's a lot of shit in that stuff. Computer cleaner. The fuck, dude. Fortunately, I didn't have much experience with that. I just witnessed, more or less, was the witness to a lot of it. I tried it once or twice, that's allegedly. Fucking I do. It was like 30 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah, man.
So, dude, that's a rough one, man. Yeah, don't dust off and drive.
Don't huff and drive.
Yeah. That's a bad. And of course, blamed it on the
Blamed it on the rain.
Rainy. Yeah, blamed it on the
Milli
rain.
Vanilli.
Blamed it on the
It
rain.
worked for Milli Vanilli. It
Worked
worked for us
everybody.
too.
Blamed it on the
You
rain.
did say 30 years ago.
Yeah. Fucking A, dude.
That's more like
A bunch of kids driving around at fucking midnight, spinning out in the rain. No big deal. Car got wrecked in the front yard. Took out a mailbox in a fucking bush. Dude, it was the most terrifying experience of my fucking life, dude. She barely took off. Fucking, we're going down the road, and all of a sudden, she just fucking went out. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm in the fucking, yeah, dude. Yep.
Just like the
and all of a
movies?
sudden, I'm like, "Holy shit!" Off the road to the one
Turn the
side,
keys
bump
off.
over a couple mailboxes. Car fucking goes up and over the fucking road to the other side, and here we go, heading towards this house. And I'm going, "Holy shit, dude!" I'm in the front seat, man, and just bam into the telephone pole. This car spins around, gets parallel parked somehow between these two fucking oaks, massive fucking trees, and the car is just fucking going. Her foot's on the pedal. The car fills up with fucking belt smoke, and two passengers in the back seat. Bolt, you know what I mean? I'm buckled in, thankfully. She's buckled in, thankfully. I unbuckle her ass, push her out of the car, run around to the other side, have to pull her out of the car, fucking pull her foot off the fucking gas and stuff like that, and get her out of the car before she fucking.
Is this a neighborhood area? Like there's people
totally
around?
out of it. What's that?
Is this anywhere like near where people can hear this crash?
Everybody was like asleep. Yeah, kind of like, but like everybody was kind of asleep. It was like super late. Everything, like all lights were shut off and stuff like that. The two buddies, my two buddies in the back seat, are running off, knocking on people's doors and shit like that. Car accident, help us. There was a car behind us. They just kept going, they didn't stop. The reason that her intention wasn't to like take a hit while she was driving. It was to take a hit while we were stopped at a stop sign, which wasn't any better at all. And her intention was like, there was a car coming behind us, so she went instead, and then fucking faded out. And I was like, God, dude, I didn't even know that could happen. You know what I mean? I had no idea that was. I thought she was fucking dead. You know what I mean? So I pulled her ass out of the car. Thought the car was gonna fucking explode.
So you couldn't run away, right?
You can't run away. No, I gotta get her ass out of the car. And then the car shut off the car, did the thing. And we finally were like in somebody's house. And then they called the police, and the police came.
Damn.
Parents got called, the whole thing, the whole nine.
Bum, bum, bum,
Daddy Red freaked
bum.
out. Mama Red freaked out.
They're
Dude,
supposed to,
I don't mean
man.
like freaked out mad. I mean like, like
Scary,
it scared
man.
the shit out of them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, dude. I would have freaked the fuck out too. I felt so fucking bad, dude. And one of those life experiences when you're a teenager, I suppose. I was like 14.
I mean, I've rolled 2 vehicles before I was 20, or been in 2
Yeah.
rollovers.
Yeah, a lot of us have definitely scared the shit out of our parents, at that age or worse. So we all kind of know what that's like. But yeah, that was my experience with it, at least. That was my, you know, act better experience, teaching moments, I suppose, if you want to call it that. Where I was
That'll
like,
learn
all right,
you,
man,
darn you.
don't do stupid shit, I want to say it wasn't too long prior to that where my cousin was in the hospital for eating poisonous mushrooms. Back to safety and foraging in the
That
woods.
was all the way back to episode 1.
We were foraging in the woods. I'm sure you know how to identify mushrooms. Cousin got sold a bag of mushrooms and it damn near killed him. It would have killed him if not for modern, health and technology, medicine technology. But that was a scary experience. He ate a bag of mushrooms and basically they were death cat mushrooms. You can research them. I'm not sure the species or whatever they are. It's a Liberty bellcap. I guess they look similar to other large, maybe cubensis. I don't know. I don't know if they mimic cubensis or if they mimic little brown, what are they, azarescens mushrooms that are psilocybin. No, I think that's what are common here in Michigan, are like those type of little brown mushrooms or something like that. They may be something like that. But they say Liberty cat from my experience, from my research on the description. Oh man, dude, that was a rough one, man. He was a young dude. He was 14 when he went through that experience, man. He got liver transplant because of it, lost his liver, ripe old age of 14. Or maybe he was 15. Either way.
I mean,
either way, super young.
Not much difference, man.
No, negligible. It doesn't matter.
It was just breaking in at that point.
Yeah. I mean, and that was just a roller coaster ride out of there because you get put on a plethora of pain relievers and shit like that as a young kid, and
you can have opiate struggles later on in life.
Yeah. Opioids definitely took over the most early part of his adulthood. He's doing good now. Family, older 30s. He maybe on the guidelines of 40, something like that. He's doing good, man.
So old.
Yeah, dude. He's
fuck off.
It's a rough one, man. Go through all that shit, dude. It's I can't imagine it. It's almost like part of the protocol. I mean, there's not much else though. They don't allow research into substances. They create this class of substance restriction, right? This stupid scheduling that anytime that they deem it offensive, to somebody, to like mind or consciousness or anything like that, it's offensive to medicine for some strange reason. But like, we're seeing the therapeutic effects of psilocybin. We're seeing the actual medicinal effects of THC and CBD and all these other cannabinoids.
Is it the muscimol? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Which is that? Is that the Amanita muscaria?
Yeah. The Amanita has muscimol.
And let's talk about muscimol. What's the beneficial? What is the because this can be foraged and found in the woods. So what's the beneficial?
What do you use it for?
Yeah, does it treat an ailment, or
you can use it for helping you with inflammation.
Inflammation. Okay.
Yeah. So for someone like me that deals with like mass amount of inflammation, and I think that's a large part of my problem, is that's why I make my tincture. And when people ask me, well, how do you make your tincture? I say, I definitely do not decarb it, because I'm not a science guy, but I understand the difference between THCA and breaking that acid off and turning it into THC. I don't necessarily want to use it topically. I would much rather use it, or not topically, decarbed. I would rather leave it in its actual state because it's better for inflammation.
So
we do more research
this out
on
of the
it.
woods. So we can get this out of the woods for inflammation. I like that. So it's gonna mess with our dreams, though, right? From my understanding, or is it gonna promote sleep or anything like that?
I'm not sure. Let's do some on the fly.
You can
research here.
Yeah, if you want to do a little on the fly research, that's cool. I like
cover
that.
for me, Red.
So wildfire. I haven't came across the Amanita muscaria, and I could also be out of season Skilbo as well.
Yeah, I seen mine in the summer when I took pictures of them.
Summer, yeah.
I don't have the red ones. I have the orangey yellow ones.
Orangey yellows, yeah.
And they were fucking huge.
And there's a couple of mascaras, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if one or the other. It's a couple different types of amanitas or mascaras or both. But yeah, they little yellow and red spotted mush toadstools.
All right, let me take my old man glasses off so I can actually read here.
Active compound.
Okay, it says muscimol is one of the principal psychoactive constituents of Amanita muscaria and related to species of the mushroom. Muscimol is a potent selective agonist for the GABAA receptors and displays sedative, hypnotic, depressant, and hallucinogenic psychoactivity. The colorless or white solid is classified as an isoxazole. Does that sound like it's thing? I don't know. Boiling point for it is 347 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 175 degrees centigrade for our friends otherwhere in the world.
In the great everywhere else.
Solubility in water is very soluble. Melting point is 184 to 185 C, which is 363 to 365.
You say very water soluble?
Very soluble, yes.
Very soluble?
Yes.
So we can basically just use water as our extractor.
It's that tea, baby.
Make tea.
So then further down it says, what does muscimol feel like? Although it does have psychoactive properties, the effect is very different from psilocybin or psilocin. It reacts with the GABAA receptors. And I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. I'm not that smart. When it's ingested, it can provide feelings of euphoria and tranquility, an altered sense of hearing and taste, changes to sensory perception, and vivid dreams. But there was another thing that you are transforming. I can't remember what it was, so I'm a horrible person for this. But they were saying that you actually decarb this to transfer one thing, and I think it started with an I or something like that, to decarb that, and it turns into the muscimol.
And maybe that's why shamans would use have the reindeer eat the mushrooms and then urinate and then drink the urine.
Well, the interesting thing is that's why the reindeer flew red.
The reindeer did fly from,
and that's why Santa was red.
100.
So he symbolizes the mushroom with the white beard, the white dot.
You have to collect the urine while in flight, so you have to be like,
oh, you gotta. We need that ducting system we were talking about in the Bro Show Live.
Yeah, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's where that comes into play.
There's a question in chat that I want to talk about. JMB Handcraft says, "What is the best rooms to have a stay-at-home closed-eye trip?"
Can you put any light on that?
I would say, in my personal experience, it's not the type of mushroom. It's more about the amount or the dosage. And I don't want to say a number because it's different for everybody. Because every person I talk to says that they have like.
Well, it's gonna
noticeable
vary
differences.
The dosage is gonna vary based on the type of the mushroom.
But it's so weird because I don't do them so frequently as to have such a large dosage, and I'm not like a fat fuck. I'm just really tall. But if people are saying like, "Oh man, 1.5 grams," I'm feeling it, man. If I do anything more than that, I'm puking. What? So, it's your mileage may vary, but if you want to have more of a closed eye trip, I would say one thing we were talking about in the chat was those Wallengongs. Shout out to Abolished for those. Those were fucking fantastic, man. So I was really, really stressed out. This is a few months ago. And I had saved these up and I had 5 grams of them. So I took all 5 grams of them and I put my earbuds in and I played a bunch of Grateful Dead and cool shit like that. Some Jerry Garcia band. It even came through with
like such a lot of mushrooms.
Some Buddy Miles Down by the River. If you guys have never heard Buddy Miles Down by the River, there's like 2 versions.
This
Get the 13-minute version long one. Red's still trying to shut me down. Dude, it was the best concert experience without ever going to the concert experience, like fucking ever, man. Closed eye visuals, fantastic. So good luck on those Wollongongs, guys.
I haven't eaten more than like a piece, maybe this big.
Of those Wollongongs?
Of any mushroom.
Okay. See, this is where someone that's like not cool would be like, well, you need to try it. No, he doesn't need to try it.
Decade, 10 years or something like that. Well, here's the protocol is an eighth, man. So people start off with an eighth.
That could be way too much for some people.
Freak out and have a bad trip.
Yeah.
I want to have a setting show real soon. I feel like, man, we haven't had a good solid safety setting episode where we actually talk about like, dude, bad trips are so frequently able to happen, like, you know, especially like taking psychedelics at a show or at a concert or something.
That's rolling the dice, man.
And you slip the edge and take too much, and your reality's warped while you're around a bunch of people, or while you're, you know, and you're thinking you're supposed to, you're doing something else. You're actually doing something else. You're thinking you're somewhere else, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, you got to leave. The fuck, you gotta like enter public.
I've never recommended anybody to ever take mushrooms out in public. This is my little personal safety thing. I've done that like once or twice in my life when I was like fucking 16, man. But as an adult, I can't remember the last time that I have eaten like a substantial amount. I mean, we had some on the float down.
You really have to know your dose.
You do have to know your dose.
You have to know your dose.
Yeah,
because there's that fine line between.
But I'm all about setting for myself. And that's why I think I don't have those problems with these higher dosages, is because everything is in a very controlled fucking setting, or as much as I can ostensibly control it. I usually take them at night. I take them at night. Everybody goes to bed.
That's the best way to control your setting.
Everybody's done. The dog doesn't need to go outside.
Nobody's ringing your doorbell.
Bed. So now from the time between like kicking at like 12, right? So 12 till 4, I'm good. Slide off into some sleep, maybe smoke a joint before I try to do it, and I'm good, man. But I don't want to, you know, do that and then have to go run around and shit. That's too many variables.
I had a little cough there. Sorry, Skilbo.
That's all right.
You know, pause. Yeah, that's really important, because you definitely should not use any of these plant medicines and drive a motor vehicle.
That's 100%. My safety story from being young and stupid. You know, was being stranded and having to drive home.
Yeah, I mean, when shit's warping and moving, and no.
If anybody knows, if you're old enough and you're in chat, you remember what Stretch Armstrong is, you know, like, or Mr. Fantastic with the arms that go way out.
Yeah.
It's like trying to drive like that, 10 and 2, and you're just like, whoa, man, I really don't know what my fucking depth perception is. So I took the entire back ways the whole way home and felt like a huge asshole for doing it. Never decided to do it again. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a terrible idea, dude. Real terrible idea.
If I was going to do them out in nature, I would do them somewhere, you know, like you say, well, just go out in the woods. Well, as we were saying earlier about know your woods, know your space, know where you're at. You know what I mean? Tell somebody where you're going. If you're going to go wander off into the woods to trip, make sure your phone's charged.
Don't take a high dose if you're going on a road trip. Real deal, man. People try to climb out of moving cars and shit like that.
Yeah, Stoney told us that horror story about his getting home from where the fuck was that? Was that Clio? I think it was Clio, Stoney. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, real deal.
JMB, you know what it's about too. Yeah. Yeah, it's not safe.
Like the all those I know what that sounds like, but that is actually butane filling a torch. Oh my gosh.
You
That
thought
sounds
you
like
were the tank mafia over there?
That's exactly what that
Telling on
sounds like.
yourself? It's
I'm
much
like, oh
louder
my
than that.
God. I'm going to get myself stepped on over here.
Cutting in, man.
No, we're feeling
Becca's going to get you knocked.
Yeah, she's over here taking dabs. You can hear the torch going.
What do you guys got for concentrates? What are you doing?
Background music. A lot of Frogroli. We're almost through our Frogroli stuff. Shout out to Frogroli. I don't know if you still listen.
He went to bed.
So, I need to take me a little dab here. Usually it just knocks me out when we get into the other stuff. The other stuff would be usually like I have some True North, some stuff that I got from the shop, GMO and some stuff that was processed by through Mint and Canico's stuff, processed by True North. Shout out to Spartan for growing that shit. And what else are you smoking over there? What is it? For girlies, what? Lime skunk? I see lime skunk in her hand.
Yeah,
so
man. That's really fun. That's what I was dabbing earlier.
That's all that's important. And we got Dankman Dance shit, dude. That's
you get the primal too? Or what do you got?
Oh, yeah, we got a little primal.
Yeah, that's what I got.
The Tsunami, what, number 6? Tsunami number 6 is what we got. And then I got a throwback of like a fucking baller jar he hooked me up with a while back, dude. Massive amount. I love it. It's got to be a gram or two, dude. Really.
Hell yeah.
This one, it's called 28. So whatever the fuck number 28 is, Dan. Smells awesome.
Oh, let me smell that.
Yeah. Here.
Oh, dude, that's dang.
Get a whiff of that.
Wow.
Yeah, that
smells like peanut butter.
Oh. All right, Dankman Dan 28.
2 grammer. Yeah, man.
And that sucker knocked me out.
Sleepy go night.
They all do, man. Unless it's got like pine or lime terps, dude. They all knock me out when you concentrate them. They really have to have a cannabis. Just really makes me sleepy. It's very
dude, shout out to him for when we did Croptoberfest and he had the station set up and we all get to try that good stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh, you think it's Divine Storm? Right on, Becca. That was his big dumper that he had from last year.
Might be. Yeah, might be. It was. I think he gave it to me in Luzerne.
Luzerne. Okay. Mm-hmm. We've had so many cool get-togethers over the summer, and shout out to anybody that's been over there to those. There's a bunch of you in chat, and it's just always nice to see you guys when we're out.
Dan's such a great dude, man. Shout out to all those, everybody, man. Everybody coming into. I don't know if Tara's listening. Shout out to Tara. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate Sequence. Appreciate you all. Fucking awesome. Abolish is still listening. I have
he's probably still lurking.
Painted Lady recently joined, and everybody who's always been on the show, man.
The late sesh.
Those grow shows just been fucking fantastic.
The late sesh, we missed you. We even had a point where we said this is where Red would just take the mic for a minute. We had a little moment of red silence for you.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. It's a week that I go away, man. Sometimes it's 3 days, sometimes it's 4 days. Thankfully, this year Becca took charge of. Oh, is this a fresh dab? Oh,
hey,
it's here. Trade this.
Trade you.
Skilbo. Here, 1 second.
Take your thing. Oh yeah, there you go. That's how it's done. Young lungs. No, it's just, it's really nice. Still sad we didn't get to jam on that new set of drums. Yes, Stoney, I was fucking with that the other day. I busted those out, and I like to try to play with those with drumsticks. I've been fucking with them lately. But on that second one, I made sure to really down tune it quite a bit so I can set them up and have some easy stuff to go through. Abolished. Always watching bros, or at least listening.
All right.
Always lurking, always there.
That was thanks to Frogroli. Have some lime skunk in the lungs.
That's what I was smoking earlier.
Oh,
that last one. Good stuff. It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
good in the
Delicious.
morning, man. Really good.
Oh, I bet. The poison lime also.
I didn't get to try that. Is it
I
slapping?
really want to get some Durban lines. Excuse me. I'm shooting for I'm gonna pick up some lines from I think it's Massive Seeds. I'm gonna try to source some of their stuff.
What do they have that you want?
They've got like pineapple pomegranate crosses, Durban pomegranate. They have a Tropogranate, which is Tropicana cookies, and pineapple pomegranate. they've been run. Their big thing is pineapple pomegranate. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what the cross is, but it runs pink pistols is the thing that always attracted it to me.
Yeah, man.
Years and years ago. And I've been watching this farm run it from a F1. So they're on like season F4, and so they're like 4, 5, 6 years into their breeding on this thing. It's been fun to watch. I've been waiting for them to kind of get to like the F4 run, and so I'm really hoping that they do a F4 drop. And the problem is every time they do a drop on these fucking pineapple pomegranate seeds, they're like immediately gone. So you gotta like jump on them. So I shouldn't even be talking about this, but I am. So somebody's gonna jump on them with me, I'm sure. But that's cool. Hopefully they'll drop. I don't.
You
even
don't
know
have any losers in your garden, man.
It'd be great. And they got a Durban on that, dude. And it'd be great to get a good Durban. Thanks, Skilbo. I try to hunt medicinal genetics. I'm really going for like fragrance. I'm really going for like, sticky or hashability or something like that. And its ability to keep fragrance over time. Or I'm looking for it's, just I kept that grape ape for a really long time. Mainly because it was grape ape, to be honest. It was a legacy strain. I kept it for its legacy. It was a
it wasn't for flavor or anything,
Yeah, it carried a very similar flavor to a lot of other like Bubba Kush style crosses. So you could pretty common, slightly different than the granddaddy, I'll give it that. Which is nice. The granddaddy's a little more Bubba, I'd say. But nonetheless, it's got that like purple musk, you know what I mean? So it's very common.
That's right. There it is.
Didn't get big, dude. It didn't get big at all. There's the granddaddy. Yeah, that's the granddaddy right there. And the granddaddy has way more of a medicinal, and I carry that one because it's a legacy strain. But that one also has.
Yeah, you know what? I still hold that hash though.
It holds a like a friendship's legacy. It's Matt's cut. That's Matt's cut, and Matt's no longer with us. Matt got taken out from what was assumed fentanyl or something like that. And unfortunately, deadhead fucking tour rider dude. Jam band scene fucking hopper, like a real cool dude, man. Real awesome part of the cannabis community. One of the dudes that was like always in like learning from forums, and he was actually like going to school for botany and shit like that, and like trying to actually get biology degrees and stuff, and really trying to be a heavy member of the community. And he really was. Like he was sourcing really serious genetics.
So is that the Ken's granddaddy?
They were hunting from TGA. So it's where I got granddaddy through. I originally had some like they had a really good what was it? What was the orange jelly bean? I had a great orange jelly bean from them for the longest time, dude.
So on that granddaddy, did he pop that or did he get that as a clone from somebody else?
The story is a clone through some friends who had originally sourced through somebody, and it had cost them like $2,000 or something like that. And that was the story, which, at the time, 100%, it makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. Totally. It's old throwback, like probably what you would assume to be like old school purple. What was that called? Colorado purple or California purple or whatever it was.
The Washington?
No, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was like WPK Washington purple.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's super purple granddaddy. It's not Ken's granddaddy. See, the way that he described it. So, I had a cut of Ken's, and I was trying to grow it. And I go, so Ken's granddaddy, is it Ken's granddaddy purple? And he was like, no, not Ken's granddaddy purple. And he was very specific. He goes, this is not Ken's granddaddy purple. He goes, this came through a very specific line that I got from a friend who paid like $2,000 for it. And I was like, okay. And he made it very clear that it wasn't Ken's granddaddy purple. And I was like, okay. So I don't know if it's Ken's granddaddy purple. No, I did send a sample down to Kingfisher. So we'll see if Kingfisher knows if it's the difference between that cut and Ken's granddaddy purple or what and what. I don't know. But he was pretty specific in saying that it wasn't Ken's granddaddy purple. My guess, okay, is that it came through the Grateful Dead community. Is that he got it like Dead Lot style.
Okay.
That's my guess. I've smelt that very specific Bubba only at dead shows, dude. I've only smelled that Bubba at dead shows. It's very specific in the air. I was sitting next to Becca last night, and she took a rip on a vape pen, like kind of blew it in my face, but I swear it wasn't the vape pen. And I was sitting at that in the show last night, and I was like, the only time I smelled real weed, I smelled that Bubba. And I go, I smelled real weed. She goes, I just blew a vape pen. I go, no, I smelled real fucking weed. She goes, vape pen. I go, maybe, but I don't think it was. Like I smelled that like family purple. That's family purple.
Spicy purple.
Yeah. That's that family purple. And the reason, and it was at a Billy Strings concert because Grateful Dead family is a Billy Strings concert. So that's, and I put that connection in Chicago. I was in a Chicago Grateful Dead concert and I was smelling it in the air. I'm like, oh my God, dude, like it's just loaded with this Bubba smell.
Cheers, Spartan. I see you in chat.
Excuse me. Cheers, Spartan. Gorski, see you out there. Martial Artist, Got Us to the Moon, Stony Rockefeller, see you all out there. Shout out JMB because you're still tagging along. Robert Hazelton, what's going on, everybody? Abolish, I see you always watching. Cheers, brother. Happy to have everybody on board, man. I should twist one more up at least. I get through the next.
Do it? Okay.
Yeah. We'll get through the last little bit of this conversation, I suppose.
I have some GG4 from March that I'm going to roll up. Of course, we're both going to leave simultaneously and the dead mic because that's how professional we are.
Talking about GDP, I'm going to twist a GDP, man. I'm going to. Ooh. Man, what a long
It's going to be a short show.
I don't know.
It's going to be a short show after that.
I think it'll be a short show. Oh, man, it might be if we're going into the old personal jar.
2018? Dude, I've got a really old fucking jar here, too. We could match. Here you go, Rand. This.
You going GDP?
Oh, wait. I showed off the wrong shit earlier. That was other stuff. Bro, check out the color of this Leica.
Oh, sorry about that.
There we go.
On that. We got this one.
How
long has this been in there?
Get it a little bit closer. Yeah, man. No, this other jar is fucking. How special.
So it smells like gasoline, right? I mean, good old fashioned unleaded 87. There she go. See you there. Super purple, just the flower. The leaves will stay green for the most part. Flower goes super purple. It's not black bud.
Girls Gone Wild is darker.
Yeah, exactly. Girls Gone Wild was a lot of. Here's what I noticed, man. When I was in the pines, I cracked a stem, brought it over, took a real nice whiff on it because I wanted to get a real nice like pining, aromatherapy. So I'm, inhaling some nice pining.
Hashtag.
And I'm like, man, this smells just like a strain of weed I have. What the fuck one is it? Is it Death Star? No. Is it the Streak? No. And I'm thinking about it, man. I'm going through this. I'm going through them all. I'm going through all the Lime Pines. I'm going through everything that I think that this might be. And it was Girls Gone Wild. Girls Gone Wild, dude. I'm like, this is Girls Gone Wild to a T. I'm like, oh my God, man. If I went and opened up,
Wonder what it was.
It was girls. It was the pining, man, because I got that one tested. That was the only, I think, strain that I've had terp tested. And it has dude, what I thought was a negligible amount of pining. It was like 0.1% pining or some stupid low amount of pining. But dude, when it dried and cures, I mean, I got the one toad that's a year old, and if you open that sucker up, it smells. It's gonna crack and smell just like a pine cone, like a pine cone crack out of your yard. Super wild, or at least that sap. It was very familiar. It was a very familiar fragrance. That sap, whatever it smells. But this is that musky gas. Super gasoline.
See, this shit's got me fucking yawning already, man. This is super old.
So this is aged pretty well, actually. This is from July. Probably don't need too much of it.
Smoking a bowl or rolling a joint?
It always hit me really hard, man. Must be something about the myrcene.
Yeah. Like I said, if I really can't sleep, I will find that jar because I still have some of that.
I always found that it would help. Since I've had it, I never really have had a true, like, I guess you call psychedelic experience or anything like that. But I've gotten into like challenging thought moments and, you know, stuff like that. You know, I've gotten at least that far.
This is how you know it's good. Look, I've been fucking hitting it. It still hits like a chief.
Granddaddy has always seemed to been almost like the trip killer. I was like, maybe that has something to do with why the Bubba or this like fragrance that's on this Granddaddy has been so popular in that scene, and why I smell it in the air. It shows is because it's like helpful, unlike psychedelics. Maybe there's something about this high myrcene, whatever, myrcene and pinene, whatever else is in this. Myrcene, probably terpenoline. In this case, the gas. I really
gas,
need to
baby.
This,
Give it the gas.
need to get this thing terp tested. The Granddaddy, that is. Because I think that there's so it's got some sort of like a hybrid effect to it that really hits you in the thought
in the boo
process. Yeah, dude. It's not only sedating, but it also has like almost like a
thought provoking.
Yeah. It's almost psychoactive in its own nature. I can see it being used in both a calming and enhanceful.
How much I missed this fucking pipe, man. This is, I call this thing the dude. It's got a shotgun hole in the front. Card. Such a good hash pipe.
I'm just gonna scrape my tray, get whatever other reminiscences of might be some
what have you.
So yeah, probably some citric on here from this morning. Only smoked a couple doobies today. Had to get out and get some work done. Had to get out to the farm and top off the water, the water reservoir. Put some fertilizer in there, you know, of course, all the detriment fertilizer that I use. Waste. My plants use it all up. I don't have any waste. It's so limited.
Man, that bro show live we just did was pretty chock full of like real live growing information. I loved it. Talking about all that shit, man. The air, the sea, the land, the fire.
I suppose it's a little late now, but you know, we are tailing towards the end. So anybody that is tuning in, please check out the Michigan Bros Show live. I like to shout you guys out. I gave everybody a shout out guys already.
As if it's not him too.
Yeah, us all.
There you go. I gotta get it something to drink, man.
I try to be. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm staring at a glass of water here too with a dry mouth. Got some tea. Tea's keeping me chatty. Oh, thanks, baby. Yeah, Becca over here keeping me hydrated. Thanks, Becca. Hey, cheers, Jay Patrick. The Beastly. Cheers, everybody. Good to see you all tuning in. Happy to see everybody on board. Yeah, I'm gonna pack some Granddaddy Purple in here just via this conversation. I'm thinking that. Thanks so much. It is. I need myself. As a matter of fact, everybody who's listening, you should do the same. Hydrate. I think hydration is very important for everybody. Drink a glass of water. Had a damn pain under my rib back here, dude. Boom, right here in the back. Top, upper, lower back, right? Upper, lower back under the rib. It was like, whatever, man. If you got a muscle pain for like a couple days, whatever. Been walking too much. So, I'm in the woods walking for a few days. Problem is the pain came from before I went in the woods. All right, whatever. So I'm in the woods walking for a few days and I'm like, well, maybe I got worse because I'm walking. Now it's like a week later and it's still fucking there. And I'm like, oh, fucking hey. So now I'm thinking I got to go get it checked out. Or I need to fucking start drinking a shit ton of water or something's got to change with my diet or something, right? Because that's all they're going to tell me to do.
Is it your spine or your ribs?
Well, no, it was like,
or is it was like
under my ribs and it's hard to tell if it was a muscle, I kind of like give it enough pressure and it like kind of go away. Long story short, last night because of Billy String show, we don't drink a lot of alcohol. So we like, did our cannabis thing and microdosing and stuff, doing our own thing, just drank a shit ton of water, dude. You know what I mean? I spent $40 on water, dude, maybe more. I'm not kidding, dude. Buying these fucking giant cans of Pure Death or Liquid Death, I think they were called. Cans of Liquid Death, $4 a can, they're like 20 ounce, maybe 16 ounce cans of they were probably like 16 ounce cans of Liquid Death. Really good water, man. I'll give it to him. I'll hand it to him.
$40 good though.
I don't know about $4 good. Definitely not $4 good. Good for the Fillmore. $4 good for the Fillmore. Hey man, they got to make money. We gotta go out and have a good time. Whatever. I suppose that the cost of goods is really supply and demand has really gone up, right? So stay hydrated, man. It's important. Is that what we were getting at, Skilbo?
Yeah, man.
Staying hydrated. I think so. I'll just got some water.
Grab some body armor.
At least that's the only reason that I can think of that I was talking about that. I don't know what the fuck I went off on my tangent about.
I don't know. I stepped away from the mic for a few minutes. I don't know where you took the show.
Let's talk about staying hydrated, man.
Yeah.
Spent $40 in the Fillmore and water. So stay hydrated.
Any more good concerts coming up anytime soon?
I haven't really looked, man. I know summer camp is around the corner, but that's Memorial Day weekend, and that's a really tough one because of all of the different logistical interweavings and windings of me trying to leave my dog somewhere for a weekend.
Yeah,
I can't take him to festivals.
No.
I say unless it's a service animal, I don't really advise anybody to take your animals to festivals.
I hate every time that I go to an event, there's always somebody with a dog, which, hey man, that's cool and stuff, but do not walk your dog past like live music speakers and shit. It's like, look at the dog's body language. If nothing else, it'll tell you which direction you should be moving.
Yep. The amount of noise.
Well, dude, and the smell is fucking overpowering for
ground
dogs.
Scores like crazy. You don't want your dog to get into a random like bag of some shit, dude. Some of these opioids or some shit like that, pills or something like that.
Never thought of that before, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, they're gonna find it before we do, and we find it all the time. No,
they're not telling. They're keeping it for themselves. The dirty cops.
Some people go to festivals just for the ground scores, man.
Let's just take the old random wheel of death and see what we come up with this time.
It's crazy.
Oh shit, it's a diuretic.
Shout out to Bunk Police, man, because he goes out there, Adam goes out there and gets a booth, He gets a booth and lets people fucking bring their substances to him. Well, I guess it depends on the festival he's at, whether he's allowed to just promote or allowed to actually do harm reduction in that sense. But
he has a presence there.
Yeah. So if he's able, he's able to do that type of stuff. Get your shit tested. You can take your random baggie there and let him test it, or get a sample test kit from him. Maybe he's able to sell his test kits.
Or buy one online prior to going to
buy one online, dude. Get one on Amazon. Even if you can't get one on Bunk Police, you can get one from other websites. Bunk Police was just an easy one for me to get from, honestly. It was secure and just reasonable. I thought the pricing was really reasonable.
How much was it?
I'm not worried. $20, perfect.
That's it.
Yeah, per like a vial. You might need a couple of different vials. You might need a test kit of like 3 different. Excuse me,
man.
3 different $60
is cool, man.
Yeah. But those reagents are going to tell you not what your substance might be, but what it doesn't have in it. You know what I mean? You might have already found out. Yeah, you might have already found out that your powder shit, whatever you got going on, you might have already found out that you have MDMA. Cool, you have MDMA in that powder. But what else do you have?
What else is in there?
What's your fuck else is in there?
Your rider.
Did you run a fentanyl test? Did you run a 2CB test? So like you could do it like, I think like a Mendelin or a Marquis or something like that, and that'll tell you if 2CB is in your shit. It'll tell you if methamphetamine is in your shit. Excuse me. If you're getting Adderall, you know what I mean? If you're getting dark market Adderall, some shit like that, and you should fucking test that shit because it might be methamphetamine. Honestly, dude, to be completely honest, I don't know how that would work out, because it might test hot for methamphetamine anyways, just because of its I don't know how that would work out. Maybe that's a terrible example. I've never actually seen somebody test Adderall. I'm sure that there's a testing reagent that distinguishes between Adderall and methamphetamine, though. I'm sure that there's one of those.
Is there a difference?
I don't know, man.
For the active ingredient? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's not how I roll, so I'm not sure.
I don't think there's an active ingredient. I'd have to do more information on that. So I'm hitting this right now, and I'm smelling this, and I'm going,
why am I at this concert? Somebody's smoking real weed around here, Becca.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah.
Becca, do you smell it? It's just,
yeah, this is gonna really trip me out, man.
I gotta get some more of that from you.
Show's gonna get weird, guys. It's gonna get quiet.
It's gonna get real quiet.
It's gonna get quiet.
We're gonna go off the air at 1:13 a.m. Just randomly. Okay. Y'all have a good night. Come through. Late sesh, 11 p.m.
I'm gonna definitely start forgetting what the hell I'm talking about a lot more.
We've fucked up and done this on a few shows before. I did that one show and used the GDP for my hash time and just, oh man, this is cool for if I can't sleep, but man, it's not easy to steer a show. You fucking slid.
No. Dude. Yeah, exactly. To tell you what, man, these heavy cushions, they get you there. They get you night. And I'm not even night. They like this one specifically, this granddaddy dude, just get your mind in a different warp zone. Something about it.
It's a bold move.
Yeah. Dextromethamphetamine, she says, is Adderall. So maybe maybe it's an analog or something. Maybe it's an analog of methamphetamine, and so you're able to test. So maybe there's a reagent that will distinguish between true methamphetamine and analogs such as Adderall or something like that, or vice versa. Maybe that's the better. So there probably is a.
There's the Leo testing for that for sure, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? If they can test it in the field, then you can too. That's
the important thing, man. Just understanding that little bit of information, understand that. I guess that there's a lot of stuff also that I suppose are legal, I don't know, but you should probably be safe with that information, as best that you can, because you don't want to misuse that kind of information. Run around with a ton of whatever new psychoactive substances.
She's Goddess says it has amphetamine in it too, so that may not work.
Yeah, I'm curious about the. I'm curious if just a simple reagent test would test hot for one or the other, because of that. From my understanding, they're very similar.
See, it sucks
Analogs
because
to
I've
each
never
other.
gone to like a head shop and seen them sell these kits before. They may, and I just never seen them, but I wish they were more prominently displayed.
That's a good question. That's a really good concept, man. Getting them more available in head shops.
Put them where you're going to see them. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I've been to probably 100 different head shops in my life.
I'm curious if they're targeted. I'm curious if the products itself are targeted because of the taboo nature of what they might.
For a safety thing, though.
Yeah.
I would much rather. You can't get high
careful.
off of it, so it's a test for.
You can't get high off of it. You can't do anything like that.
Yeah, just let
it
it
would be legal completely to.
Yeah, sell them at the fucking gas station
produce.
for all I care. Shit.
Yep.
If you have those kind of problems in your city, I mean, I would rather they were just more talked about, understood. They're economical. I mean, what's your life worth, really?
And that's the approach I would prefer, also. Right.
Damn it, my life isn't worth $60.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right. Yeah. Though the other side will look at it as, well, you shouldn't be doing drugs
but we are. So then let's not argue to some cross purpose that doesn't even fucking apply here.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, people are going to do it. So where can you draw a line with trying to help people?
Make shit available.
Yeah, education.
Keep things economical. Institute some kind of education system that you can have where you talk about this, rather than the wild, crazy misconceptions that we've all arrived at previous to the last few years with this shit, man.
And we have to make sure that what sucks is that this information has to be only marketed, on YouTube specifically to people over 21. Even Taboo Nature, that has no like legality of age on it, has to be over 21 for appropriate behavior. Whereas like this kind of education, drug education and stuff like that gets taught. Granted, we jump off the ship and we do talk adult content, right? But some sort of real
in a tasteful way, though, Red. We don't glamorize.
Right, yeah, true. So we try to be as tasteful as possible, I suppose. This type of education should be more available to people of the age range where they're going to college. You know what I mean? They're off on their own. They're more likely to do mushrooms and shit.
Here's a good one for you, Red. I can remember this is when I was like, I'm gonna say I was 14. Some other dudes in town got mushrooms, and instead of eating them or making a tea out of them, these guys smoked them.
Crazy.
Wasteful. What?
Super wasteful. I bet they
it doesn't work.
Feel it. Oh, it doesn't work.
Well, there you go. You get the placebo effect, I guess.
Yeah, you get a placebo effect, but they definitely didn't get the real thing. Sure as hell didn't get the real thing, as if you ate them at least.
And then the other time when I got them when I was young, it didn't come like in a bag. They were all like individual like caps that were wrapped in foil. Each one was wrapped in foil, like the thin shit, like almost like you would use for like a Nestle Crunch bar or some shit. What the fuck? But hey, man, it was very weird. I've never received them that
caps or capsules.
Yeah. Caps, as in like the caps of the mushroom,
the
but
cap
wrapped
of the
into
mushroom.
Yeah, wrapped into.
So it was like a little Hershey Kiss.
It's pretty much, yeah, man.
That's funny, dude.
That was fuck. Would that have been like 1989? I think something like that. Long time ago.
I've definitely seen the chocolates come around, on Deadlot and things like that.
Oh my god, everybody's
full of other ways.
Dude, my son got a hold of me a couple days ago. He's like, "Pop, this guy wants $40 for these fucking mushroom candy bars. I said, well, does it have an eighth in it? He goes, yeah. I said, well, there you go. That's a good deal then.
Yeah,
$40 what they're going for.
and you get the chocolate on top.
That's
now in Deadlaw, my concern would be, does it have mushrooms in it at all? Are they giving you a research chemical in a chocolate bar?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
no.
dude. Yeah, man. Here's why we have to test our
my
shit,
chocolate.
Dude. Here's why we have to test our shit.
How do you test chocolate?
Yeah, you got to test your shit, man. Do you even have mushrooms in the first place? Is someone giving you a psilocybin analog powdered shit that they got on dark web? You know, you don't know. But guess what? It's available, and they'll someone's probably doing it, and someone is probably scamming.
That's
people
fucking lame, though, bro.
Someone's probably scamming people with methamphetamine chocolate bars, calling them whatever. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, it's more than likely they're doing it with analogs or whatever. Reputable sourcing is very, very important. Shout out. I'll shout out people. Like salted mushies or like even.
Yeah, man.
Like follow abolished mycology, for information. He might be able to start pointing people in direction of being able to source through mycologists in the future.
And if you live in one of those places, or even if you don't,
yeah,
learn into growing your own so that you don't have to worry about sourcing anything other than what you've cultivated. It seems like it's an easy hobby to get into.
There's a lot of good information out there now. I always really like the Willie
Mike. Third Eye Muse is another one. He always has the chocolate bars.
Chocolate bars.
Yeah. I actually have a package of the mushrooms up there, the 8th. It's from
Grow your own, man. Source good spores. I don't want to fear anybody, but you don't know. You'd hope that your spores are great and good and everything, but hopefully no spores of anything else are getting in your chamber while you're growing your shit. And you accidentally grow out the wrong kind of mushroom. So it's always good to identify. Be able to identify. If you have some weird random looking mushroom in your tote of cubensis or something like that, probably
might not want that one.
Yeah, but you probably want to get rid of that one. Or you want to question your whole batch or something.
Shout out to Willie Myko if you guys are interested in growing your own mushrooms. He definitely has his own channel on here, and he also has a really good Patreon.
Yes, Al. Mushrooms did just get decriminalized in Detroit. That's a huge reason why I bring up this topic tonight about the hunting for Sasquatch and being in the woods.
We had a purpose after all, didn't we?
Well, yeah. Every step when I was in the woods, there's mushrooms, man. And anybody like me who has any kind of a thought that might be like, let's say a student down at Wayne State or a student at CCS or any of the other dozen colleges in the area of Detroit that's actually legalized, and that might live down there or hold a residence down there or something like that, is now thinking, well, shit, I'm gonna go get some mushrooms. Well, shit, I've been up in the woods. There's all kinds of mushrooms up in the fucking woods. Let's go up in the fucking woods. Mushroom season. Well, this is why this episode's here. Throw on a fucking orange hat or just don't go during this time, So, yes, Detroit is definitely decrim, which is a huge reason why we got into that topic earlier today. And just for the country in general,
it's the city of Detroit, not Wayne County.
Right. Not the county, not Wayne County, city of Detroit, not Detroit suburbs or any of that. Detroit City is still pretty big.
Come on, man. I live in 26 Mile. That's not
very
fucking
massive. Massive.
That's not the city of Detroit at 26. 26 in Van Dyke. A little bit of geography humor.
Over on the east side, Skilbo.
That's where I'm over, is by the east side.
Far east side over there.
Far northeast.
Far northeast side.
Super, super far.
You're on the Blue Water side.
Mm.
The
Melfar Superstar.
So what most people don't know is we also have another inland lake between Michigan and Canada, and that's called Lake St. Clair. It's not part of the Great Lake chain, but it is we would consider
what
part of
connects
the
it,
Great
man.
Lake. It's part of the Great Lake chain. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's part of the Great Lake chain, but not part of the what would be considered the Great Lakes for some reason. They only say the massive ones, but it is part of the Great Lake chain, and it's a great lake. You know, you can't see across it, and
No.
in my opinion, it should most certainly be part of the Great Lakes. And so that's Lake St. Clair. So we're going to give a little shout out to Lake St. Clair this episode just for being there and doing its thing, because that's the two major connecting points between Michigan and Canada. You have the Blue Water area.
St. Clair River connects Lake Huron to Lake St. Clair. Detroit River connects into that, and then it takes that down into Erie.
Down to Lake Erie, right? And then you get down to Lake.
Then all goes to the locks
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that since we have a geography episode.
We're doing our geography before we get out of here, man.
Keep it north of the wall today,
dude. I'm telling you, there's just. Do you remember when we shout out to the original grow off when we had that party before the party out on the lake house? Looking out over top, on the east side, looking out over the water as the moon's coming up and shit. You can't see across that motherfucker, dude. That's
hell no. We could see windmills, which might have been in the middle. Those motherfucking windmills were not on shore. Those were offshore windmills, and those might have been. I don't know which country owned those windmills, so I have no fucking idea. If those were American-owned windmills, that means that the other side was way the fuck far away, because those windmills were like almost at the horizon. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to remember. I was riding down to somebody's house, some grove thing,
horizon,
and they had. There's a road called Moscow Road somewhere down in southern fucking Michigan, and they had these gigantic fucking windmills, dude, just like out of the nowhere, man. I'm used to them from up in the thumb region, but these are like a newer breed of even bigger ones.
Serious, yeah, no shit. Generating some serious power. Yeah, that's some the turbine engines run those things, man. Aircraft engines, same kind of deal. They use same kind of gasoline. You know, they're not 100% efficient. You'd think they would be, but they still require avgas. You know, methane to get running. You got to pump them full of methane and give them that propulsion.
Aircraft mechanics with Red Setter Farm.
You got to have a little bit of a boost with that turbine engine inside there, you know.
Dude, when I was in the Army, they fucking had turbines, man, and they're so loud.
They are. They're serious, man. Takes a lot of. I wouldn't get up on them when the motherfuckers go work on that, dude. Fucking
get your selfie stick,
400 feet in the air.
You're getting up there.
Fucking A, dude.
Put you up from the helicopter and you can rappel down on top of it.
It'd be fun. Don't get me wrong, man. It'd be a fun job. I don't know, dude. I'd much rather keep my feet on the ground.
You or have you not stood on the Great Wall?
On the Great Wall?
Yes.
I have stood on the Great Wall.
So cool. That wasn't the desert part where it's like all turned into sand and shit again. This is like
it was I got a little bit of both. I got a slightly restored version. I got a totally busted down and in ruins, sandy version of the wall. And then, but not a completely restored version. Like, we didn't go to any of the areas where like it was completely restored. Where like you see videos of people like driving trucks and shit on it. Like, no, you couldn't fucking. It's
not like that everywhere.
It's all steps. It's completely steps. There's no flat spots anywhere. You couldn't drive on this part of the wall. Couldn't do anything shit like that. There's no community. There's a lot of farmers, man. And it's all farmer community. People selling fish on the side of the road, cured meats. You know, just we had people follow us the entire route. They don't take notes. Nobody wants. I should phrase this really nicely.
They don't take no for an answer.
They don't take no for an answer. They just really
So what'd you end up buying?
Hurry up and make some money, man. Dude,
whatever they were slinging. I just wanted to get
just
away from me.
whatever it was, you know, trinkets, odd ends, and yeah, and you got it. I mean, support them almost, kind of, and I don't know, man. There's a lot of that out in that area, just all farmers, and just a lot of
Well, that's what most of China
the
is.
natural,
It's like,
natural,
like the population all lives
community,
by,
you know,
close, and the west side is just bereft and fucking desert.
There was no cities. It took us like, it was like a 4-hour drive or some shit like that. It was a really far drive from where we were staying in Beijing.
It was like a Gilligan's Island in the sand.
It was a really long drive, dude. Like, you get stranded. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. It was pretty cool. I was too young to really like think to
appreciate holy shit, we're way out here
or anything like that. Yeah, or actually think anything like that. My head was probably buried in a book, or we're playing a video game. I'd probably be staring out a window and really taking it all in if I went and did it today. But most likely my head was in a video game. I was way too young. But don't, I remember all of the everywhere that we went and everything like that. Definitely appreciated it all. Learned a lot, man. Learned how other cultures lived. Really appreciated the way that, even as little, I know a lot of people who have a lot more than, my family. And shit, man, I appreciate every last little bit that we have, man. It'd be great to have a lot of the stuff that other people have. But fucking A, dude, we have a lot more shit than other people do. Holy fuck. Try to take all the good with the bad, man. It's a good balance. It's all balance, Skilbo. It's all that balance. Even when you walk out the door of the Fillmore.
Absolutely.
Got that balance.
You hear the tanks.
Yep. Oh, dude, right when you think you got that, that perfect.
Thought you had a free parking spot, but
fucking,
no.
Yeah, you got that perfect campsite, dude. You're all set up and ready to go, and you get back after a long jam, and all of a sudden,
Becca's over there using the torch again, right?
Fuck, dude. Nah, it must be the torch. Let's just hope it's a torch filling up.
Right. Before we get out of here, come through tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Late Stash with me and Red and Sequences, Spartan, and Painted Lady. It is always a fucking laugh, man. It's always good vibes.
And no, I'm not hating on any tanks. I've gotten actually used to it over time. I've just learned to accept it. It's part of the noise and atmosphere. It's a 24/7 community. You have to accept that nobody sleeps at festivals. And if you want to get some sleep, bring some earplugs, bring blindfolds, because there's going to be shadows moving by your tent.
Or book your hotel a year and a half in advance, right?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, get a hotel and don't sleep in the campground if that's the case. Here, she's filling the fucking torch again. It's hilarious. And the dog's lapping up water.
Dog's drinking water like a motherfucker over there. Come away from that bowl.
Skilbo, any other shout outs, man? I really appreciate your time tonight.
Absolutely. I just want to say thanks to everybody in chat for hanging out with us. Always nice to see you guys, and adding to what we don't know, you guys fill in the blanks. And we really do appreciate that, because this is just a conversation and we are a community, and it's really good to share good information amongst each other and to follow safety protocols. Remember that anything that we say is basically our own anecdotal evidence, and your mileage may vary.
Thank you.
Sounds kind of professional, doesn't it? If I could do that every time, that would be like a nice disclaimer, but I'll never remember that.
Vary part, and I really like the safety protocol part. Man. I dig that, dude, a lot, man. Yeah, man.
You've done well, man. You've built a little community here of us, right?
Stories.
And it's a good fucking thing that we got going here. Thank you for putting this together for everybody.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on here every week and rapping with me, man. And even though when you're not around and I put in a solid 4 hours by myself, rambling, I appreciate everybody in chat for putting up with it and coming back every week and continuing to grow. It has become a great community, and I'm glad that everybody wants to hear us ramble about safety and harm reduction and have these stories, these anecdotal stories, that are designed for harm reduction. We're not out here trying to talk these stories for, like, the award of like best trip or anything like that. Like this is stuff for like to talk about how to safely adhere through a topic that doesn't get much airplay, and it's going to be very, very what's more popular, I suppose, is the best way to
Absolutely.
put it, man.
It's growing in popularity,
yeah.
and more people are coming online every single
is it
day.
on Oprah yet? Has Oprah had anybody on about mushrooms?
Is she still on the air, bro?
Yeah, I'm sure. Or Ellen, or whichever daytime TV is on, has had to have had Michael Pollan on, or Paul Stamets,
Michael
or
Bublé.
Shout out. Excuse me, somebody talking about, because it's almost at this point becoming pop culture. I'm really waiting for it.
It's the potential for you to have another tool in your toolbox for your own mental health, man.
100%, man. 100%. A lot of therapists are now seeking these treatments even for themselves to, help their jobs perform better.
So before we get out of
I also see the question in chat of ants on a log. I didn't know, but I did have the crab apples on the log, and stick to Americana style foods. I'm not talking about for flavor wise. One of the best fucking options I could probably get on the street. It's excellent. Caramelized fucking apples, dude. It's on a stick. Delicious.
On a stick.
The after effects of eating a lot of any kind of food that might contain any types of foreign bacteria is really harmful. You should really try to deep fry it. Get that shit deep fried.
Deep fried Snickers bar.
Yeah. Yeah, the good old Americana deep fried stuff. Ate a lot of McDonald's and stuff like that, dude.
It's just disagreeable with my system, man.
Probably
I'm just not happy
worse, but
the nose knows.
Yeah, I mean, most of the fruits and vegetables we eat over here, come from over there in the first place.
Fraudulent produce, my friend. Fraudulent produce.
Yeah.
It's masquerading as produce of old, but it's not.
No.
It's a whole other show, Red. It's a whole other week.
No doubt. And the way that it's farmed is a whole nother show too. Holy cow.
The depletion of the phosphorus.
Yeah, the depletion of the nutrition in our lives, especially taken by cannabis, the good old endocannabinoid system. So make sure that you enhance your endocannabinoid system, at least. All right, we're gonna cut out Skilbo.
See that? I told you that joint worked on him, guys.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
not to be trifled with. Yeah. Don't underestimate the power of the Granddaddy Purple. Cheers, everybody! Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Appreciate you all very much, and we'll see you all next week, same place and time.
And the rest of you gravitate over to Eagles. Tell them we said hi.
Yeah, do that, and see you all on the late session tomorrow night as well. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Peace out, everybody. Thank you.
Cheers.
And